This is an EFT session for people who have a partner who's having a hard time, whether they're depressed or ill or just in a bad time of life, and that's putting strain on the relationship or family. So this is for you, the person who is standing by, and your job right now is to drop in, ground, connect to breath, and you're going to tap with me and repeat after me. And if you need to change the words to better match your reality, change anything. If something I say just doesn't hit right at all, say the last thing I said that did, or something that comes to your mind. So here we go. So we start under the karate chop point, under the bottom line at the base of the pinky, side of the hand. Just tap that nice and firmly. Even though they're having a really hard time and it's a strain, I still deeply love and completely accept myself. Even though they're having a really hard time and it's a strain, I still deeply love and completely accept myself. One more time. Even though they're having a really hard time and it's a strain, I deeply love and completely accept myself. Going to the crown. This familiar strain. It feels bad. It disconnects me from love. Inner eyebrow point. I feel frustrated that I don't know the best way to respond. Outer eye. I'd like to help. I don't like feeling powerless. Under the eye, upper cheekbone. I also don't like when I feel it's somehow my fault. Under the nose. I don't like when I feel responsible to fix it. Chin point, which is really the groove. I know that it's not real, that it's my job. And I know my energy is not good when I'm trying to fix it. Under the clavicle, under the round at the end of the clavicle. I know my energy isn't good when I'm trying to fix it, or when I'm feeling bad about not being able to fix it. Okay, so now we're on the bra strap point, or the side of the ribs, from the bottom of the armpit, one hand's width down on the side of the ribs. I know that their stuff sends me into my stuff. And I start finding myself wrong. Now, up here at the crown, I want you to name out loud, say these words that I say, and then name, fill in that blank, name it. These are some specific behaviors I go into when I'm worried about them. Take your time, name more. This is the emotional quality, maybe, and this is a behavior I actually do. This is how I treat myself. Name it. This is what I don't like about myself in the way I go after them or try to please them. Okay, let's go to the inner eye. I would like to not do those things. Outer eye. When I'm thrown off because they're off, I'd like to remember to take care of myself. Under the eye, upper cheekbone. I'd like to catch myself really early on when I'm trying to make it better for them. Under the nose. I'd like to feel very quickly what feels off about that. Chin point. I'd like to hear my voice. I'd like to notice my frantic thoughts. I'd like to feel that I'm leaning in too much, out of my own alignment. I'd like to catch the behaviors I don't like early. Under the clavicle, round. I'd like to catch my responses before they gain a lot of momentum. Side of the ribs. I'd like to interrupt my externalized energy and come back to taking care of me. I'd like to interrupt my externalized energy and come back to taking care of me. Crown. I know my job is minding my state, not theirs. I know my first job is soothing myself, not them. Inner eyebrow. I know it really helps when I'm not judging them. There's nothing to judge. Outer eye. I know it really helps when I release them to their journey. This is their journey. This is theirs to deal with. Under the eye, I'd like to stop resenting that it impacts me. I'd like to not make them responsible for the impact on me. That's my job. Under the nose. And I know I can take care of me well when they're off, when I don't think I need to fix them or make it better for them or take responsibility for them. Chin point. I'd like to get really good at very quickly coming back to me, releasing them to their life. Under the clavicle, I'd like to say the words, I release you to your life, and I release myself to mine. Let's say that again under the armpit, side of the ribs. I release you to your life, and I release myself to mine. I come back to me. I put the oxygen mask on me first. crown, I remind myself again right now that that's going to go better if I don't judge them. They get to be, fill in the blank, depressed, chronically ill, unhealed from trauma, whatever it is. Inner eyebrow. It's not my choice or power to decide when that gets resolved. It's not my choice or in my power to decide when or how that gets resolved. Outer eye. But I don't need to get sucked into it. Under the eye, and I know what it looks like when I'm sucked in. Under the nose, and I can learn to interrupt it much more quickly when I'm even starting to go there. Chin point, I'd like to catch it much earlier, much more quickly when I even begin to go there. Under the clavicle round, I release you to your life and I release myself to mine. There's nothing for me to judge in what you're going through. Side of the ribs, I'd like to find times to give focus to my own belief in your capacity to heal. Crown, my own patience in your healing process. Inner eyebrow, I'd like to release you again and again and again. Outer eye, I'd like to get really good at managing myself. That's my work. Under the eye, that means I catch myself leaning into you or going into my undesirable behaviors, and I come back to me. Under the nose, I release you and I come back to soothe myself. Chin point, I release you and I do what I know to do to get my alignment back, to calm my nervous system. Under the clavicle, this EFT tapping is one thing I can do. Side of the ribs, and I can breathe much more consciously. And I can breathe more consciously as I do EFT. Crown, and I can fill it in, whatever works for you. Do yoga, qigong, take walks, dance, cook, distract myself in the good way, laugh, take care of my body, get sleep, interrupt stress eating, replace it with nurturing myself in various ways. Say what you know you need. Inner eyebrow. As I take care of myself more, I know that I can actually do you some good. outer eye. I know that's not going to be abandoning you. I know it's not selfish for me to take care of me. Under the eye, I know, and I want to keep practicing, that when I am in excellent self-care, under the nose, when I mind my state, chin point, when I maintain my alignment, under the clavicle round, I connect to my guidance system better. I have inspired ideas. Side of the ribs, I have flashes of things to try. I find right timing and flow. Crown, or I have breakthroughs just between me and me. And in the better space that I go to, I know what to do next. I am guided and I know my guidance. And I trust my capacity to course correct. And I am actually supportive. I actually make a difference to you. Close your eyes, put your hands down, stack one over the other, cupped upward. Connect to the breath. Release any muscles you don't need, face included, to be in the position you're in. Feel the buzz, feel the hum, feel the after effects of tapping. Feel the quality of the breath. And know that if something else came up that got your attention or jarred you or feels like it needs more something, you can go right into the next EFT session tapping that. Thank you for practicing EFT with me.